Hi, I'm Lucy Marlow, a partner specialising in intellectual property law here at Fox Williams. During this recording, we'll be talking through the value of a brand and also the importance of brand enforcement to prevent copycats from infringing your rights. So for a business owner, what's the value of securing a trademark? As explained in my previous recording, a trademark is a monopoly right. This means that it can be relied upon to stop copycats from infringing your mark. It's particularly helpful when it comes to stopping lookalikes and dupes. Once you have your mark, you can also set up watching services, and this is one of the first steps that I typically recommend that businesses do to protect their brand. A watch service is a good idea because parties often attempt to register trademarks before they launch their brand. If potentials can be identified at an early stage in this way, it's often easier to resolve the matter and persuade them to rebrand. Through our watching services, we would notify you of any third-party marks filed that may conflict with your pending or actual registered trademarks. And by filing an opposition, you can try to stop conflicting marks from making their way onto the register. And from experience, early detection and prompt action is one of the most cost-effective ways of stopping copycats. It's often much harder to stop a copycat and get them to rebrand if they have already invested in their brand and been operating for a lengthy period of time. We can also develop with you your enforcement strategy to stop infringing parties. This could take various different forms. So a typical example would be to write cease and desist letters to the infringing manufacturer, importer, or the party supplying the goods or services. We can also help you by using the takedown and notice provision procedures in that many online platforms offer, such as Amazon and eBay. We can also use the customs procedures, which can prevent infringing goods from crossing the border. We can also help with domain name disputes, where we can get domain names taken down which incorporate either a similar or identical mark. Merely sitting on your registration is not enough. To avoid customer confusion, reputational damage, or dilution of your brand market share, it's necessary to police your rights. Another question that I sometimes get asked is whether a party can just write directly to the other side without involving solicitors. Well, this is quite risky, as in the UK we have an unjustified threats regime. So if not handled properly, rather than being the claimant, you could be on the back foot and face a claim, as the nature of your threat could be considered unlawful, and that would entitle the other side to injunctive relief and damages. So another thing is striking the right balance is important. Protecting your rights is obviously vital, but it should always be strategic, proportionate, and sensitive to the reputational risks, especially when David and Goliath dynamics are at play. So how you enforce your rights is just as much important as to whether or not you enforce them at all. Take the example of Colin the Caterpillar and Cuthbert. So in that case, Marks and Spencer's were legally entitled to defend its iconic Colin the Caterpillar cake from Aldi's Cuthbert. But while the legal arguments rumbled on, many will recall that Aldi stole the spotlight in the court of public opinion by responding with humour on social media And they were able to turn that dispute into a marketing campaign in its own right. So even though M&S had a legal case, it risked appearing heavy-handed in the matter of public opinion. Not only can we assist with bringing infringement claims, but we also represent clients defending claims. Often there might be multiple defences and options available. So if you're in receipt of a cease and desist letter, we strongly recommend that you take prompt legal advice. The final point which I'd like to cover, which concerns trademarks, is why are trademarks valuable? Well, firstly, it can attract investors and increase the value of your business. A brand is highly valuable, and registration of a trademark is an important step in protecting a brand, protecting the goodwill associated with your business, and preventing third parties from infringing or imitating your brand. If in the future you intend to sell your brand or secure investment, having a trademark will increase your credibility and make you appear more attractive to a prospective buyer. If you're unsure about what rights you have, an IP audit can help identify any gaps in your portfolio and remedy any of those gaps by, for example, securing additional registrations. And by taking this action before undertaking a round of investment or looking towards merger opportunities, you might be able to boost the value of your business. Secondly, your trademark can help you gain more money. You can make money from your brand through various ways, for example, licensing, franchising, or even selling your brand. Licensing agreements can take various forms. For instance, you may wish to provide a trademark license to another party in exchange for payments. That could be royalties or an annual license fee. In the fashion sector, we often see brand collaborations. So Next and Liberties collaborated, and the Liberties pattern was applied to some of Next's clothes. You may also wish to consider entering into a franchising agreement. And with that, the franchisor will license their brand to the franchisees. You may wish to also sell your trademark, and in exchange of a one-off lump sum, that would be an assignment. More recently, we've witnessed businesses using their IP as a loan collateral. For many tech-focused businesses, IP represents their most important asset. And therefore, by securing finance against your IP assets, you can leverage your existing IP to fuel growth. Our team here at Fox Williams would be very happy to help you both with securing your rights in the first place and also helping you to exploit your intellectual property, whether that be through the various different types of agreements that I previously mentioned, and in situations where you find yourself either facing a trademark infringement claim or wishing to bring a trademark infringement claim, we'd be very happy to help to mark out your strategy at the very outset and then put in place the best measures to protect your brand.